going on, everybody? It's Nicodemus, and I'm here today with a special interview on behalf of the Trophy Live podcast. We are interviewing today Housemarque Games, one of my favorite developers, and today we have with us Michael Havari. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing all right. Just taking it easy.
Okay, good. Yeah, taking it easy is a good thing, especially on a Wednesday. It's actually evening slash night by you, right?
Yeah, so in Finland, where there's a little time difference to the States. Um, it's 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 still all right. We got some sun is about to set soon, and the whole thing. Still kind of
Okay.
chilly here in Helsinki, but going
Yeah.
towards summer a bit by bit.
Nice, yeah. So in case you guys don't know who Housemarque is, I don't know if you're a PlayStation fan how you don't know, but Housemarque are the developers behind games such as Dead Nation, Alien Nation, Resogun, and then the upcoming game Nex Machina as well, which we will touch on during this interview, definitely. But I want Michael to go ahead and let everybody know kind of like who you are, what your role is with Housemarque, so everybody knows a little bit about you.
Yeah, so title for me is basically head of publishing or head of self-publishing. And I do everything from, marketing PR to product development to just looking after that our games are represented in the way they're supposed to be and that, you know, they get good coverage and we get to talk about them on podcasts and all this cool stuff. So everything else except actually making the games, really.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you sound a bit like me on my side of things. I handle a lot of the PR and stuff for the inner circle. So yeah,
Yeah,
we're two
and
sides of the same coin, if you will.
there you go. There you go.
So Housemarque is coming out with a brand new game. It's called Nex Machina, and I'm sure everybody has seen the gameplay by now. You guys have been doing a lot of press for it, a lot of gameplay on various YouTube channels and things like that. The game looks absolutely amazing. I'm being a little biased because I am a huge Housemarque fan, but it looks to me like this game is um, an evolution of Resogun, if you will, in my opinion. So I want you to tell us about Next Machina to start off because that's the new hotness that's coming up, and
Yeah.
let the players know about the game and what they can actually expect from it.
So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. This is sort of the evolution from Resogun in a lot of ways. It is actually the engine, but then again, for every game we sort of make a new engine. But this is the engine's based off of the Resogun engine, and then our tech, wizards just go all over it and make it next level. And but it's still based off of that voxelized kind of thing. Um, we change it up a little bit, so now the voxels are morphing and they're not all just cubical. But gameplay wise, it represents the same kind of strand of arcade, classic, simplistic score hunting kind of gameplay.
Hmm.
And this time around, we actually, so for Resogun, we took a lot of influence from games like Defender. And now we get to make this game with the guy who made Defender and Robotron and Smash TV and others. So Eugene Jarvis is on board.
Oh
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
is it's a bit of a, you know, we're a bit starstruck at the office still, but yeah, we're kind of trying to keep the arcade torch alive and just create a game that's really pure arcade action.
Nice, very nice. Yes, and there are quite a few gamers that do appreciate the arcade action. I mean, this day and age, a lot of games these days they're big budget, big AAA games that seems to be the type of games that a lot of gamers gravitate towards, and even gamers themselves they're always expecting bigger and better experiences. So, like, what steps do you guys, being that you focus primarily on like the arcade, smaller, quote unquote, smaller titles, if if you will. What steps have you
Yeah.
guys taken to ensure that you're consistently like pushing the envelope and just staying competitive?
So I mean, for us, gameplay is king. For the kind of company we want to be is we want to create cool experiences. big or small. So currently, the marketplace for the kind of games has been in the, let's say, digital side. I think there might be now more and more demand for gameplay centric titles. You know, Dark Souls, for example, has
Hmm.
been a huge success, and I think that's it's another. It's so good to see games like that make it out there now. So I think that um, scope of the games we make might still be changing, but what we keep really there front and center is the fact that we have very tight, just second to second gameplay, and you know the players that know as well come to appreciate that, and that's our primary focus. So in the end, we could be making really small titles, $5 bucks a pop, or then we could be making $60 games, but um, the only thing that really, really sets us apart is that hopefully, hopefully you'll never get a game from us that has kind of gameplay that's bit off or subpar in any way.
Yes, yes, and I definitely appreciate that about you guys is that your games to me. I was asking you this in a private chat. Actually, you guys, your games to me aren't necessarily. I don't know. I don't know how to say this. Necessarily indie, quote unquote indie, as a lot of people would think of an indie game. You guys, it seems like a lot of your games are triple A games in small packaging, if you
Right.
will, and with the focus on just gameplay and just delivering great experiences first, and then putting a tremendous amount of beautiful polish on top of it is, I think, what makes a lot of players such as myself gravitate towards your games and get hooked on your games. Because a lot of your games, well, I'll say the great majority of your games that I played, it's not a one hit or quitter. It's a type of game that you're going to want to go back to 2 or 3 times to play, especially with the score element that you guys add to your games. It makes you want to play it over and over again, which increases their replayability in such ways to where it's like very rare these days, that you have games such as that. So is that something that's just like intentional that you guys want to
Yeah.
make it so that it's an indie game in a sense, but it has this big like AAA polish over it?
So I mean, so you can look at it from a lot of different perspectives, of course. Um, I think, you know, the company is actually 22 years old this summer, so there's a lot of history that goes into it. Um, the guys who started it are from this local European scene called the demo scene, where you were just basically making small games or visual gimmicky things for, early computers like the Amiga or Commodore 64. So it kind of stems from like, let's make our own cool tech, let's make our own small games. And there, the only thing you really had to polish was the gameplay. So I think those values are instilled from really
Mm,
early on. And now we've been, fortunate enough to be kind of signed on to the whole Sony bandwagon. So they've been taking us along for a ride. And
nice.
I think that there's been a niche uh, understanding of, hey, let's make these score hunting titles. Clearly and it's a niche market, and we understand that. Um, so I think we're always open to opportunities, though. So we do understand our strengths and weaknesses, and I think that's how we want to build our brand going into the future. Um, but again, I would say that even if we do make games in the future that have a bit of more story element or even a retail thing that you can buy in the stores again,
Hmm.
I think there's still there's some kind of a Housemarque brand that we like to keep true to, and you know, so it's a long way so far, and this is something we like to do. So hopefully we can still keep doing that.
Man,
You know,
yeah, 22 years.
it's
Like
yeah, it's a long time.
you guys have been around a long time, and a lot of the gamers out today, obviously, they don't really, know you guys have been around for so long. Like a lot of us, we associate you, like you said, with Sony, like a
Yeah,
PlayStation
right.
exclusive games. But you stated that you used to make games for PC long ago, right?
Right, exactly. And if you look at Sony too, like, we made Super Stardust HD, which was early on in the PS3 life cycle,
Hmm.
and that the actually 10th anniversary of that game is coming up later this summer. So that's already 10 years right there, you know.
Man, Super Stardust HD, because you guys made the Ultra. You made two versions of that, correct? You had
Right,
the standard and then the Ultra.
so the Ultra was actually made by our buddies externally, so that wasn't done in-house, but it was based off of the stuff we did, of course,
Hmm.
with the HD. But it was kind of some things were added on, and it was made into a PS4 version. And actually the same thing went with Detonation Apocalypse and with some of the Resogun ports. So a lot of these things with Sony, they have other studios that help us out with those.
Okay.
But yeah, still initially we make the base game and then others come and help us out with those.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So, Next Machina. Let me start by saying this. PlayStation gamers tend to value their exclusives. We tend to value the exclusive titles that come to the PlayStation
Right.
4. So Next Machina, I heard, is actually coming to PC as well. When's the last
Yes.
time you guys had a PC release? Um,
So so we did a game few years back with Ubisoft called Outland, which is a sort of a Metroidvania 2D platformer. That got
mhm.
later ported to PC and Mac. So that is
Oh,
available on
okay.
Steam right now. But in terms of a brand new launch game that's on PC, our latest venture into that was in '99 with a game called Supreme Snowboarding. So that
Oh,
was,
wow.
yeah, that's a quite a while back.
It's been a
So
long time. Yeah.
right, so officially our latest PC launch title was way back then. But if you go on Steam right now, you can go buy Outland, and it's a pretty solid platformer. So
I
definitely,
remember
but
Outland. I
yeah,
remember
so
that.
that's also of course on the previous generation consoles.
Yes, that's the one I played in. I think I played on Xbox 360, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Um, okay. So now, let's get back to the PlayStation
Yeah.
exclusive part of it.
Yeah. Sure.
So this is technically not going to be a PlayStation exclusive because it's going to be on PC, and I heard that PC is even getting a beta for this game as well. So what prompted you guys to kind of change direction after all these years and bring this game to PC and PlayStation 4 simultaneously?
So basically, we wanted to work with Eugene since we're just, huge fans of that guy and we wanted to see how that goes. So just that as an opportunity prompted us to look at it from a perspective, okay, what if, for example, we can't do this with partners? We got to self-fund it and publish it and do this stuff. So, we talked to Sony and they were like, okay, you can do that,
Mm,
but let's still make it happen so it's still tied with Sony. So it is console exclusive in that case. So,
yeah,
it's going to be only those two platforms at least for now. And then basically it's still what you come to expect from the Housemarque title on a PlayStation platform. But then on the other side, we get a little bit of freedom to do stuff on PC. And for example, the beta right now on PC is just that it's a bit easier and faster to do stuff like that on PC because
okay,
there's a lot of things you have to go through with Sony. Um, Before we launch the game, we'd still like to do a beta or some kind of a test or whatever we can on PlayStation 2 because we know that our a lot of our huge fans are over there. So of course we want to look into
yeah.
that too. But it's
This
it's
guy included. I would love to play the beta on
yeah, I know.
PS4.
But again, it's basically currently we have a small team working on it, and it's just time and money constraints that take us to this direction at the current time.
Okay, understandable. I guess we, the PlayStation Nation, would give you guys a pass on that after hearing your explanation.
Yeah, and honestly, the game is still very controller centric. It is very much a Housemarque twin stick shooter,
Hmm.
so it's still the PlayStation experience, even if you play it on a PC. So Um, it's still got a lot of that core thing going for it.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm sure you heard about PlayStation Now, the streaming service that Sony has is going to be bringing PlayStation 4 exclusives to that service, meaning that there'll be PlayStation 4 exclusives, on PC, not new ones, mind you, but older ones. And there has been a bit of an uproar in the community over that. A lot of PlayStation gamers feel like it shouldn't be on the service. A lot of PlayStation gamers feel like the PlayStation 4 exclusives should remain only on PlayStation 4. So, what do you say, in your opinion, to PlayStation fans that feel PS4 exclusives do not belong on PC? What do you say to them?
You know, honestly, I think that there's a lot of people who want to play their games, in their living room or, even, me at work. I got a PC at my desk, and sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could hit up this DualShock to my computer and just
Hmm.
play some Resogun right here. And so my point being is that there's a lot of experiences, and especially when you have, let's say, a year after release from Resogun, I think it would be cool to bring it to PC. That's my perspective. I love my PlayStation 4. I'm not too jealous about, uh, you know, any other, PC. It is a competitor in a sense, but again, I think it's more of an enabler that
Mm,
I think it allows for more people also to see our games. So, I think that it could be a very good thing. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but
yeah.
um, in the end, I want more people playing the games, and if it brings them eventually closer to the PlayStation brand and the good stuff that they do, I think, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I can see it from a developer standpoint that a game that has released a year or so ago that's not really, selling anymore on, let's say, the PlayStation 4, you bring it to the streaming service, PC gamers who've never had the opportunity to play the game, that's, initially, more sales, right?
Right. That
More
initially,
opportunities, right?
right, and that's the key thing is there that initially you get that sales bump. But for, if you take Alienation or Resogun or something, and you would release them on PC, then I think there would be more of a buzz around those games, wider audience, and maybe even more content down the line. Because, from our perspective, those games are good, and if there's like we just did a PS4 Pro update for Resogun a while back, because the PlayStation 4 Pro came out, and it's like, oh, we
Yeah.
can do 4K now. So we put that out there because there was a hardware that we could do something else on.
Hmm.
And we saw that maybe people, could, more people could enjoy it. Uh, but again, we didn't create new content for Resogun. But, if things like this do come up, then it's like, oh, let's create more stuff for Resogun. Maybe people will be willing to pay for it and play more and, all that stuff. So overall, it's better for the games.
Okay. Okay. And speaking of PS4 Pro, what do you think about that system right there? And then also, what do you think about this whole mid-console refresh that we got going on this gen?
Honestly, I think the PS4 Pro is a really cool thing. I think that this is, in the end, it's not that different from having a new generation of consoles. It's just kind of an update. And it, again, it's closer to the whole PC thing, right? Because
Yeah.
there's new stuff coming out all the time. Um, so I think that there's to people like us who play a lot, I think it's a good, it's a good thing to get an upgrade in your hardware wise too. So for me, I don't mind buying a new PS4 or I mean, PlayStation every 2 or 3 years instead of waiting for 6 years.
Yeah.
So
Or
if I get
eight,
it
9 years like last gen.
right, if it, but again, that's from a hardcore gamer's perspective. I
Right.
think a lot of other people, but then again, maybe those guys want to buy the regular PS4 now, that it might be a bit cheaper. So again, potentially in win-win situation. I think a lot of people are just saying that it's not big enough upgrade, so they don't want to invest in it. But
Hmm.
yeah, so for me, it's golden. I love it.
Yeah. It depends on where you are as a gamer and just a consumer in general, because that system caters more to like 4K. So if you're not, if you don't have a 4K TV, you're really not going to benefit too much from it as it is. So that's the reason why I haven't really upgraded to it quite
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
Next year, when my money's looking right, I'll invest into 4K and get into that whole world and begin to, you know, jump into the 4K bandwagon of
right.
gaming. So
But
I think a lot of
exactly.
people are waiting for that as well.
But and as a developer, it gives us more opportunity to push our games a bit further.
Hmm.
Um, so in the end, I think it's uh, consumers have come used to this more of a there's there can be a bit more iterative cycle where things happen to move a bit faster, and I think it's a very good development, and I hope things adjust, and this is hopefully the new norm to become in some manner.
Okay. Okay. So PlayStation's biggest competitor, Microsoft,
Right.
Microsoft has also been toting that their mid-console refresh gaming system called Project Scorpio right now is due to release this year, and they just recently released the specs for it.
Yeah.
First question: have you seen the specs? And then, can you comment on what you think about the Scorpio?
It looks pretty badass. I mean, in terms of specs,
Hmm.
I don't know the size of the console or anything, but the specs look pretty badass. And, as a company that does a lot of tech, it really looks like they're upping the game. Um, Compared to the PS4 Pro, I think the PS4 Pro is still gonna uh, be in a very competitive kind of a landscape there. But in the end, I kind of like that they're pushing the envelope there.
Hmm.
Personally, I used to play a lot on the 360. Now on the PS4, I can see my Xbox One sitting over there collecting dust now, and I also got the 360 next to it. But honestly, I haven't turned those consoles on in a long time uh, because the PS4 just really, this generation, it just kicked ass.
It
So,
did. It did.
right. So, I mean, this is my perspective from a consumer side too, is that I go where everything's working out well, where the system, the UI, where the games are, where my buddies are. So it all adds up. And really, what pushes that is that there's competition. So I hope there's going to be competition more and more down the road. So, you know, again, I will probably buy it, and then we'll see which one I play more. But right now,
Mhm.
it's the PlayStation 4.
Absolutely. And me and you are two sides of the same coin, Michael, definitely. I mean, I feel exactly the same way. And it's definitely refreshing to hear, you as a developer slash consumer, because you're a consumer. So you're speaking from a consumer mindset. But I think
Yeah,
that's basically how the majority of consumers think. Like they want to be where the games are. They want to be, well, the games are that they like, right? Let me be politically correct. The games are that they like, where the UI is the best for their in their opinion, and then where their friends are. And I'm exactly the same way this generation. Last generation, I was heavy on 360, and like you
yeah,
said, PlayStation 4. I mean, if I could say, they took a page out of the Xbox 360's playbook and took it to the next level. And ever
right.
since then, they've just been on a rampant rampage this whole generation. But
They
yeah, I do agree that Scorpio. I agree with you. It looks very promising. Looks very good, and it's definitely good to hear. You from a developer, standpoint, and after you've seen those specs, that you feel like it's impressive and it's pushing it to the next level as well.
and
So,
I, but again, to contrast this kind of perspective a little bit, I gotta do a little shout out to Nintendo. Those guys have been doing a good job too.
oh yeah,
Personally,
yeah.
from an indie game perspective, they've been catering to a lot of indies, and I've actually one game that got a lot of bad press now is Has Been Heroes by Frozen Byte. I have like
Mm,
30 hours on that thing just on my Switch every time I'm just going to work and whatever.
nice,
And that and Zelda, I've been playing more than anything else in the last couple of weeks now. So, and
nice.
and you know that console is not the powerhouse that the others are, or nor should it be. But again, I think Nintendo's the kind of odd one out, and they're innovating, and I think that's really good for the industry too.
Yeah,
And I think that this is so many good games, so good consoles. This is like nerd heaven, right now.
it is.
2016 is so good right now. I'm loving it.
It really is. Everybody who's a gamer should be happy right now. There should
Yeah,
be no anger, no
yeah,
animosity. Everybody should be glowing right now.
exactly. And
Yes.
honestly, fanboyism, that comes from somewhere where if you like something, you like something. But currently, everybody should have a reason to like something because there's
Yes.
so much good stuff out there.
There really is. Definitely. Definitely. Speaking of good stuff, do you guys have another game in the works that we haven't heard much about in a
Yeah,
while? It's a game called Matterfall. So,
that's right.
can you give our viewers an update on Matterfall real quick?
So first of all, I'll give you a scoop. This was announced a while back, 2 years or so, as a CGI trailer,
Hmm.
and we most likely won't do CGI only trailers. I won't swear on it, but there's always something that goes into not showing gameplay. We want to show more gameplay. But with this game, we haven't done that yet. But I can tell you that it is a platformer.
Okay.
So it's looking awesome, and we're gonna have more announcements soonish. You know, but
Okay.
yeah,
Platformer. I like the platformer thing. Is there shooting involved?
well, it is a Housemarque game after all. So
Of course. Okay. Definitely got some shooting.
yeah,
We got some melee. If it's a Housemarque game, I'm pretty sure we got some type of melee dash attack going on here as
right.
well. Is it top
It's
down?
no, I mean it's a 2D platformer. It's a
Oh, okay. Okay.
side scrolling kind of
Okay.
game. Yeah,
Side scroll.
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to picture it in my head right now
Oh,
because
look at
that
the
CG
look
trailer
at
looked amazing.
the CGI trailer looks good, and that's actually a very good representation of what the game is. But just try to imagine, from a side perspective and all this crazy shit going down.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll
That's
be
gonna be
showing off.
crazy.
We'll be showing off more of it soon enough.
Is it gonna be? We're gonna get some of that gameplay at E3 or a teaser or something at E3. You think?
I can't promise any dates, but it's as good as it's a good guess.
Okay. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. All right. So we're gonna be wrapping up here soon, but before we get out of here, you are a gamer, consumer. Um, so I want to get your top 5 games that you're looking forward to this year, no matter the platform. Just give us your top 5 games that you're looking forward to this year.
Man, top five. All right.
Top 5.
Uh,
Let's go.
so honestly, I'll start off from Switch because I've been playing that quite a bit right now. I want to play Binding of Isaac again on the Switch because I want to take it with me. So this is a shout
Mm,
out to Nicholas and Tyrone and all those guys, Edward and everybody's making a game. I haven't seen that in Europe yet, so I need to get my hands on that. And there's a lot of other cool titles coming out for the Switch too. Um, you know, uh, Destiny 2 is probably something I'll
okay.
play quite a bit of. Destiny 1 was a big hit with the guys here. We got a little group, we got our fire team going.
Okay. Nice.
Uh, and from a from that perspective, I think there's a lot of those mainstream games that I'll play. Battlefront 2 video just came out. Uh, I don't know. Maybe that one.
Mm.
I should probably do some indie picks too.
Yeah, you may want to, besides Binding of Isaac, you may want to add a couple more there, sir.
Yeah, I see, now the pressure's building up on me because I don't know which ones I should pick because I got a lot of friends in the industry too.
Oh yeah, you don't want to offend nobody.
Yeah, no, but
These are the top 5. Doesn't mean they're not in the 10 or the 20 range there. So yeah.
right, exactly. Um, there's a couple of cool indie games that are looking good, and hopefully we'll get to see more of them. But honestly, I'll just leave it at that. If it's top down, if it's a twin stick shooter, I'll probably try it.
Okay.
And if it's indie, then I like roguelikes a lot, so I play a lot of those
Okay. Okay.
games. But um, we'll see what comes out. What games are even coming out?
Uh,
I'm blanking out right now.
yeah. So I'll give you my top 5, and then it kind
Yeah,
of give you an idea of what I'm looking forward to, and then maybe you can add it to your list. So Of
Yeah,
course, number one, not sucking up here. I'm a huge fan of Housemarque, but I'm definitely looking forward to Next Machina. Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
number one on my list so far. And then I'm also looking forward to Sundered by Thunder Lotus Games, the guys that made Jotun. I'm definitely
Dude,
looking forward
I
to that.
I played that. I played that at PAX.
Yeah.
So that was a couple of booths down from where we were at, and that animation just
Ooh.
oh my God, that is a beautiful, beautiful title. And
Yes.
if I'm not wrong, that's a kind of a roguelike type of game too, right?
I'm not sure if it's rogue like. It might be rogue light, but
Right. Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm not sure it's exactly rogue like it is in heavy rogue like, but yeah, I think it has those elements. Yeah.
So I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure it had like a procedurally generated level structure and all
Yes.
that. Okay,
Yes.
so there you go. I mean, that's my bag right there. I want to get my hands on that.
Yeah, man, that looks amazing. I would definitely recommend everybody, check out the gameplay on Thunderlord's YouTube channel, and it's definitely coming along nicely. It should be coming out this May. Um, Next on my list is State of Decay. Is a zombie four-player co-op game that is coming to Xbox or One and PC, I believe. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that because I played the first one and I absolutely loved it. And I'm looking forward to Uncharted Lost Legacy. Did you see that gameplay? Did you see the
I,
trailer?
dude, and again at PAX, that thing, people went crazy, man. That was insane.
Lord, when I saw that
Yeah,
trailer, I'm like, yeah, we putting that definitely on the list. I'm a huge Uncharted fan, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where they take this Nadine and Chloe, getting to know more about her story and Nadine as well. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then last on my list is a game that has not been confirmed to come out this year, but I got a strong feeling it's coming out. Is God of War. That's the last on my list. I'm pretty sure it's coming out this year. I got a gut feeling in my heart that it's
see,
coming
there you
out
go.
end
But
of this year.
you only had one indie game there too. I mean, the Sundered
Oh,
is the only. I mean, there you go.
no, no, no. I had State of Decay as an indie game, sir.
No, State of Decay is like a
it
almost triple A. It's
it
close.
it it is now because they've grown to that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's because of Microsoft. But they're
I get you.
technically indie. They're indie in the way that you guys are indie. You're not
Okay, right.
exactly like
Oh, you
full on
got
indie, but you're like
there you
in
go.
that
There you
middle
go.
ground, right? So I got you guys on there. I got Sunder and I got State of K. So 3 out of 5, sir.
There you go. There you go. You got a better pickings than me. But exactly. There's a new Switch game called the Incredible something machine. I'm blanking right now, but it's a shooter like Resogun.
Really?
Um, yeah, and you should. It's a lot like the art looks different, but in terms of how the game plays, it has like a mini window there. I wish I had Google right
If you
here
think
to.
of the name, if you think of the name, message me later. I'll check it out.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's looking pretty tight. I think it's coming out to the Switch like any day now.
Switch is
So
getting some exclusive indie games. Like I'm impressed.
yeah,
I, like console exclusive indie games.
but that's perfect. Honestly, indie games really need to be on that platform. It needs because my Vita is good, but it's been a couple of years on the side, but now the Switch is getting a lot of love. So
Yeah,
indie
yeah,
games for sure.
definitely indie all the way. So before we head out, last but not least, do you have a release date or a release window for Next Machina that you can share with our viewers?
So yes, and that is
Oh,
summer. This
summer.
summer,
Oh,
yes, this summer.
okay.
So not too long. I won't give out a specific date or anything because you never know. Uh, again, neither one of us know when it's coming out, but it will be
Hmm.
this summer.
Okay.
So still close, almost there.
Awesome. Awesome. That's definitely good to hear. We'll probably see some gameplay at E3, hopefully, or be able to play it at E3, you think?
Yeah, I mean, and we're having the beta right now, or
On
soon.
PC. Yeah.
So that's there.
Okay.
Might have more betas available down the line. It might be available at the shows that are coming up. So be on the lookout. It's
Awesome.
definitely going to be playable at a show or then in your living room soon.
Awesome. And then for the beta, are players able to sign up right now for it?
Yeah, right now, if you do go to one of our social media channels or just housemarque.com and go to the blog section, there's a sign up sheet and you go and you register and we can only pick a certain amount, but if you go in and you give it a go, you give us a good reason why you want to try the game and we'll make sure you get to.
Okay, I'll put the link in the description for you guys. So if you want to, try to get in the beta,
Right.
definitely,
That's starting
I'll,
it's starting April 21st, so
okay.
if you do try to sign up before that.
Okay, great, great, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Michael, for joining me today on behalf of Trophy Life and the Inner Circle. It's definitely been a pleasure speaking with you about house marking gaming in general. Definitely refreshing and fun for me.
Absolutely. I
So
had a
thanks for joining
blast.
us.
And honestly, anytime, man. Like if you want to have me on later on with Matterfall or whatever, give
Okay,
me a shot.
definitely awesome. I'd like to get you on the official live podcast one day with the rest of the panel and stuff because it's a PlayStation podcast, but we talk about just gaming in general as well. So it'd be cool to have you on there as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. Well, everybody out there at the sound of my voice, thank you so much for joining us. This is Nicodemus, the king of indies himself, with the Trophy Life podcast and the Inner Circle. This has been Michael from Housemarque. We've been talking about Nex Machina, which is coming this summer, and Matterfall, which is coming sometime in the future. But thanks so much for watching. Leave a like and comments. Let us know what you think. Any questions or anything like that you have, leave in the comments. We would definitely be sure to answer that for you. We're out of here, y'all. Peace, and thanks for watching and listening.